Welcome to the instructional video for modeling expectations. This is staple number 1 in the visual space. Now, modeling expectations can give students practice developing the actions set in the learning environment. Students need to see and hear what is expected, and teachers can help this process also by communicating, being consistent, and connecting with students while modeling those expectations. Now, here's 3 tips to be able to model those expectations. And the first thing we want to do is to have clear expectations. Now, communication of expectations must be clear for both the student and the teacher. Now, we saw a little bit more of detail in this in the mutual space on M1 involving students in the decision making. The second thing is to have consistent expectations. More so consistency and making sure that we don't have the do as I say, not as I do model. So for example, if you don't expect students to be late, then we want to make sure as an educator or as a teacher that we're not late as well. And third, we want to make sure that our expectations are obtainable. Now listen, connect with students by ensuring that they are within certain students' reach. Now here's a great example. Maybe you have a student that has ADHD, and for some of these students, organization we already know and following multiple step instructions is sometimes difficult for them. I didn't say it was they couldn't do it, but it was difficult. So for these students, you may have to repeat instructions 2 and 3 times. Well, some people say, well, I don't want to do that. But you may have to. And so we want to make sure, again, we don't expect a 3-year-old baby to make their bed, right? And we do expect a 15-year-old to be able to do that and take the trash out or clean. And so, again, making sure that we have obtainable expectations for our students makes a big difference when we're modeling those expectations. Now, how does this fit with the real education? Now, for the relevance, demonstrating that real-world application helps students to see the importance and the usefulness of what they are learning. To build that empathy connection, we want to make sure that we model respect and that inclusivity. It will help the students to develop the empathy and learn how to interact with diverse people. To build action, we want to encourage responsibility and positive contributions. It can inspire the students to become active and engaged citizens within their community. And finally, that lifelong learning, teaching students to ask questions, to analyze information, and reflect will foster an intellectual curiosity and a love for learning that also always can last a lifetime. Now, there is no specific activity for this, but we do encourage you to always, to have clear expectations, to be consistent in those expectations, and to make sure that those expectations are obtainable for all your students. This is staple number 1, modeling expectations.